Xia Xie Xin Tang is a formula that is not targeted at a mix of coldness and heat. In this video, I will present what is the real pattern of Xia Xie Xin Tang and explain why it is such a smart and effective formula. When it comes to formula, I always like to go back to the original recording of the formula, which is here the 149th article of the Shanghai Lun. 伤寒五六日，偶尔发热者，茶壶汤正具，而以他药下之，但满而不痛者，此为痞。茶壶不重于之，以半下泻心汤。So in English, the translation will be: during the 5th and 6th days of the cold damage, the patient vomits and has fever. This is a Chai-Hu-Tang pattern, but the patient is treated with a purging formula. If there is gastric bloating but no pain, this is an agglomeration disease. Xiao Chai-Hu-Tang cannot be used anymore. Xia Xie Xin Tang is appropriate. Because Xia Xie Xin Tang uses both hot and cold herbs, the usual explanation of Xia Xie Xin Tang pattern is a mix of coldness and heat. According to this theory, the purging methods, which uses bitter cold herbs, harms the spleen and stomach, causing yang deficiency. At the same time, the purging herbs bring heat to the interior. The first part of that theory is right, but not the second one. When there is heat and fire, purging herbs tend to reduce the heat, not aggravate it or bring it deeper. So Xia Xie Xin Tang is really targeted at an imbalance between spleen and stomach, which can be caused by purging herbs, but more commonly nowadays by unhealthy diet and sedentary lifestyle. The core mechanism of Xia Xie Xin Tang is actually dampness, which prevents the lifting movement of the spleen and the descending movement of the stomach. That is why in Xia Xie Xin Tang we use Huangqin and Huanglian, which are bitter and descend stomach qi, and Ganjiang and Banxia, which are pungent and lift spleen qi. These herbs are also drying and moving, and therefore can transform dampness in the middle jiao. Sweet is the flavor of the earth. That is why we use sweet herbs such as renshen, dazao, and gancao to reinforce the spleen and stomach. You can see why Xia Xie Xin Tang is such an ideal formula for spleen-stomach imbalances, especially when gastric bloating is present. Now, Xia Xie Xin Tang can indeed treat a mix of heat and coldness for two reasons. Middle jiao dampness can on one hand harm spleen yang, and on the other hand block qi and create constrained heat. In this case, the warming nature of Ganjiang and Renshen and the cooling nature of Huangqin and Huanglian come in very handy. From a more global perspective, the heart fire and kidney water must communicate to regulate heat and coldness. When there is dampness in the middle jiao, fire gets trapped in the upper jiao, and coldness in the lower jiao. Xia Xie Xin Tang is excellent at treating chronic upper jiao heat conditions that are maintained by middle jiao dampness, such as chronic insomnia and chronic mouth ulcers. Previous clinicians may have used cooling medications, which only aggravate the problem because they harm the spleen and stomach. In summary, Xia Xie Xin Tang is a great formula for global spleen-stomach imbalances and can treat mixed patterns of cold and heat when they are caused by middle jiao dampness. I am Yoann Birling, a clinician, lecturer and researcher in Chinese medicine. Please feel free to like this video if you did and subscribe to our channel for more videos on health, psychology and Chinese medicine.